Hey everybody, it's Erin. Today the plan is to take you guys along on our August flower farm and garden tour. It's pretty warm out today, relatively. For us, 90 degrees is pretty hot. It's been really hot all summer. We did get one good day of rain recently, but just one. So it's been unusually, or at least it feels like it, unusually hot and dry for the last 6 weeks or longer. It is the end of August. Next weekend, this coming weekend, is Labor Day weekend. So I just wanted to give you a checkup on what everything looks like. Some of it's good, some of it's a little rough, but that's okay. Every farm, every garden goes through that. And this time of year, with the lack of rain, it's been especially hard to keep everything really nice. But what we do have going is, in my opinion, beautiful. So I'm going to start out here out in the field, show you what's blooming, what's happening with the beds that are not blooming any longer, and then soon upcoming plans for some of these beds so that we can get prepped for next year. I know it's crazy, it's still the middle of summer, but next season is coming quick. Okay, so starting, I had to start in front of the zinnias because how can you not? They're gorgeous. But let me actually start you up here at the north end of the field. So over here, I still haven't done anything with my perennials, but it's coming. I just haven't had time or energy to get there yet. But this is a project soon to come. So starting up here at the north end, these first 3 beds, John mowed down. The next step I need to do is just get them covered and get them covered with cardboard and compost so that we'll have good blooms next year. Everything that was cut down, the feverfew, it's come back. I might actually, well, no, these are going to be perennial beds. I would like to actually keep those so I don't have to grow, but I could probably transplant them. Either way, these 3 rows have been cleared. It's just a matter of getting them prepped for next season at this point. We still have our volunteer cosmos. This row, this is all the snapdragons that the second blooms that I didn't get to, or the stems that were too weak to really use. I just let them bloom out, let the bees have them. This row, still, it was just a couple of snapdragons and not a lot else in here at this moment. It's all just weeds, needs to go. I'll show you all the bad stuff first. This here, amongst my weed, is my first Lisianthus bloom. I have tried for years to grow them, and I just never got any good at it, but I have a couple blooms this year. I'm going to cut them for myself, though. I gotta say, these crazy cosmos, but these little snapdragons right here, these self-sowed. I did not plant those. And all of these sunflowers, this look terrible. They're all done, clearly. Next row, this is where we planted all the asters. And I did not do what I told you guys to do and set up a trellising system, so lots of them are flopping, but enough of them are still standing upright, and they're just so beautiful. I love them so much, and they put out so many stems. You cut a big chunk off, it has a cluster of stems on it all together like this. You'd cut one of those and you get all these stems, and then it'll put out more stems. It's sort of like a Rudbeckia in that it's a medium sort of producer, but not full on cut and come again like all the zinnias are. I gotta fight the bees to get back through here. And then the back end of this row is all the foxglove that was meant to be first year bloomers. Apparently I had bad timing, or they lied to me. So all of these are gonna stay here. I will weed them out, don't worry. But all of these are gonna stay here until next year. And I think that means that this end of this row is going to end up being a whole bunch of the biennials, so that all of these hopefully next season will bloom at the same time. Okay, the next 3 rows you can already see all the zinnias. Oh, they're so beautiful. I am going to try one more time to save seed this year, so there's a few of them that I'm just going to leave be and let the pollinators get them so that I can collect seed, but not the majority of them. Man, look at some of these. The colors are just spectacular. And there's so many blooms. It's just nonstop. They love this heat. And I don't know if you can hear it. You can hear all the bees in there. This is a bee balm, which the name makes sense. Bees are all over it. This one I grow from seed every year, and it's super easy to grow. It's a great cut flower, and clearly the bees are absolutely all over it. Just follow them around. This row is all done. This was the Lavatera and Malapi. I just need to cut them back, clear it out, and it's ready to go. And then we have our dahlias. Oh, I love this time of year. Dahlias are so fun to grow. Oh, they're so fun. These are labyrinth. This one is Marn or Sylvia. I am going to leave a couple of these stems to go to seed also, because I want to save seed from the labyrinth dahlia. Oh, here's one. I think I'm going to try to save seed from that guy right there. All the rest of these are so beautiful. Oh, I love them. Love them. This one is one that we grew from seed last year or the year before. I can't remember. I've had it for a couple years. And all the rest of these. There has been a little bit of aphid action on this end of this row, but so far so good. I think it's the last year for these. This is called Henrietta. Probably save 1 or 2 for my regular gardens, but these stems, when you cut them back and they grow again, the stems are so floppy that they don't make a great cut flower. They'll hold up, the flower will hold, but the stems struggle. Oh, this guy's mutated a little bit. Oh yeah, this is the same one. It's Bracken Rose. Oh, it's so pretty. These are so good. This one is Sweet Natalie. Yellow, Sun-Kissed. There's some Cafe au lait, also saving seed from Cafe, and just all of them back there. The dahlias are looking pretty good right now, aside from this mess of weeds that I need to, again, take care of. The Black-Eyed Susans, they're all pretty happy. A couple of them flopped over with the rain we had, but that's okay. I'm going to cut them back anyway. These guys have been doing pretty well for me. This is the Sahara, and then down there is the Indian Summer. The Indian Summer I love in the garden. It's limited for cut flower. Some people really love it, and a lot of people really don't. It's just that school bus yellow color, but I think it's beautiful. More of the Sahara. There's such a wide variety within this mix that I can't get enough of it. This row, I just cleaned this one out. There's a giant weed pile back there. Just everything that went over. But this is all my status. Oh, and weeds. Never ending battle. All the status. And then Strawflowers. If you're not familiar with Strawflowers, I have a video from last season where I talk all about Strawflowers. And they're just one of my favorite to grow. So go take a look at that. These are gorgeous. Don't mind, though they're going to seed. They won't pop up for me from seed. Generally, they might, one or two, but mostly they need some special attention to bloom. Oh, these are so fun. But what I need to do here is just cut all of them back pretty hard, like way down here, and they will send out new stems, and I'll have flowers into the fall from my Strawflowers. And want especially to do that with these guys, these orangey, darker colors. Yeah, these ones I want in the fall for sure. So I just need to whack these back, and I'll probably get to that. I have a planned deadheading day for the zinnias and for Strawflowers and other flowers similar to get that done. This row we have, these are a bunch of the celosia. These ones were saved seed from Florette, one of her varieties, and I like them because the color is just muted and neutral, but they're not my favorite. I do like these, and if she has these on her sale again, I think this was Rainbow Sherbet, I will buy them because this color I adore, this mix of pinks and sort of oranges and peaches. They're gorgeous in bouquets. But most of them, yeah, that one in particular I love. This one is also really good. The rest of this is just the mint that I grew. This is the I think it's the Thai, not mint, basil, Thai basil. And this is my lemon basil, which is my absolute favorite. And the bees are all over it. You see a little bee? And then the next three rows are kind of toast. Not a lot going on. The Cerinthe, the honeywort here, I can come back and I'm going to clean this out here pretty quick, but I do want to save seeds. I also did that in a video last year, but I might show you again. I will save the seed from the Cerinthe and then just take it all out and get ready for next season. This is my scented geraniums, mainly the chocolate varieties. There's a couple of the citrus down that way, but this one has gotten huge and it's just now ready to cut. Once the stems stiffen up and they don't flop over, much like a zinnia, they're ready to cut. If you cut them too early, they wilt and they just stay wilty. But this guy, it always takes all season, but by middle of August, she's ready to go, and I can cut and cut and cut stems from this, and it looks absolutely gorgeous in a bouquet. It really does. So I'm gonna be cutting the heck out of that. And then my little bit of eucalyptus, not a lot, but enough for maybe even just for some bouquets for myself. This whole row, it's all coming out, but one little bit I wanted to show you. I found a new critter in the garden, if I can find it again. Oh, here. If you don't like bugs, don't look. But this guy, I'm told, well, Google tells me anyway, that it's some kind of hawk moth caterpillar. A horned caterpillar. I don't know. It looks kind of crazy. For the moment, I'm letting it chew on the weeds, and we'll see. Apparently, it's good for the pollinator, or for the ecosystem in general, good as a pollinator. Not great as a caterpillar, but right here it's just eating weeds, so I don't really care. And then, like I said, the rest of this is just a mess that needs to be cleaned up. The flower field is in typical mid-late summer state, where half of it is just ready to be cleared out, the other half is blooming its head off. So it's still a lot going on, and I still love this view with all the flowers in the distance. Okay, so like I said, I was doing some cleanup, but I do want to show you these this shade garden that I don't really show you much of. But this back here, this little corner, is surrounded by these trees. So it will get some sun, but the sun is setting basically right back here. So it'll just get a couple hours of that late afternoon, maybe, if it gets that much at all. And then it's in the shade almost the entirety of the rest of the time. But back here, we just have some hellebore. These guys are huge and I love them. They grow gorgeous every year. A bunch of hostas and brunnera. It's just such a reprieve from all the rest of the field because everything else out here is just hot, full sun, constant. Just there's no shade, no protection from anything out here. So in the afternoons, if it's hot, I will just come back here and sit and relax and take a break with these stilbees and the hostas and everything. And I love this little garden. If you've watched any of my previous garden tours, you'll know that there's a couple gardens that I just love, and mostly they're the shade type gardens that I can just kind of chill back out of the sun and relax in. The rest of the field, there's not a huge amount going on. This is still just prepped for when the anemone and corms come, which should be very soon. There's meant to ship on 9/1, so right around Labor Day, so next week. So within the next couple of weeks, I'll be able to show you everything that I ordered and some of the plans that I have for some of that, which is exciting. I also ordered a bunch of tulips and daffodils and other flowers, not for the cut flowers, but for my own gardens, and I'll talk you through all those when they show up. Okay, so just real quick down at this end, these sunflowers, I don't know if you can see them yet, they're called American Giant, and that is no kidding. I don't know how to show you just how tall these are. It must be 10 feet. I'm 5'2", and that sunflower is more than double how tall I am. It's kind of crazy. It's a total trip. It's taller than the cherry tree that has been in the ground for 3 years now. That sunflower. Isn't that crazy? John planted those. He likes sunflowers, and those ones just, he thought were insane, and he loved it. Okay, I'm gonna walk around out here, show you what's happening out here, and then we'll go hit up the other gardens. Okay, so back here, there's not a lot to see except look at the blackberries. I really need to come out here with a bowl. They're just absolutely everywhere. A lot of these are maybe too far gone at this point. All I can smell is blackberries. Look at them. They're just, this whole little hill here is covered, absolutely covered in ripe blackberries. One of the many privileges of living in here, in this area. Okay, so of the things that we did plant, this is one of our willows. It's a pussy willow. It's getting a little sun scorched. We've been trying to keep it watered, but it's its first year, and it's been an especially hot and dry summer, so it's struggling, but there's a bunch of fresh growth from the base, so I'm not too concerned. And then back here is the weeping willow that we put in several months ago. This guy is happy. It's grown quite a lot. This lower branch has been eaten by small deer. So has this one and that one. These guys, year over year, they'll just get taller and stronger, and they'll be out of the deer's lunch menu eventually. Not a whole lot here except John planted the giant sequoia that I got for him last Christmas. Eventually this tree could be, if it settles in, and it looks pretty good right now, could end up being, 100 plus feet tall and like just gigantic. So I'm looking forward to seeing how big it gets over the next several years to see how fast it actually is going to grow. And then this side, we also planted This is a redwood tree. John's from California. He likes those redwood, the California forest trees, and so do I. They're beautiful, and this will also get gigantic if it's happy. And so far, so good. They can deal with heat. There's some serious flopping going on out here, but this Russian sage is brand new. And again, same, hot, dry, but we're keeping them watered, so they should be okay after they settle and it cools off a bit. Nothing new to report really in here. All of the mock oranges are doing good. The dogwood is too. This little guy, this is a Coreopterus. Look at this. How pretty is that? These are gorgeous, and the bees also love them. These should get pretty good size back here, so I'm looking forward to seeing those come back next season. This little viburnum, this was a little tiny plant when we put it in the ground, so clearly this spring, so clearly it's happy with its life. I'm looking forward to seeing that one bloom also. Just a bunch of little random flowers here and there. I do intend to put a bunch of the bulbs, at least the bright yellow daffodils, back here so they can be seen from a good distance from the house. So this was our experimental dahlia garden. Oh, it's so fun. There's a random Cosmo that seeded itself, but this is the one and only dahlia we have blooming so far. I'm not sure what it is yet. We'll see what it turns out to be when it opens all the way up. But it's bright. Everything out here just needs a little water. It'll get water this evening when it cools off a bit. Okay, now back around to the entryway garden, and then I'll take you to the rest of them. Sorry, this is going to be a long video. The crabapple tree. Look at, she's making crab apples. All these little guys, they're all over the place. It's so beautiful in the fall. Not a lot has changed in here either. There are some blooming daylilies now. The phlox has already bloomed out. I cut a lot of the mint back and need to cut some more. Most of this is looking pretty good though, overall. It's a nice full garden. The roses, they already bloomed out. This was the phlox. It was a David phlox. Super pretty. Oh, in here, it is pretty cool. I need to cut back the GM, but look at this thing. This whole garden is full of blooms. I do want to show you, look, we have a couple other new dahlias from the last video. This one is new, and then there's this crazy bright orange one that is pretty. The bees clearly love it. All of these the bees love. And there's another one back here that's sort of a cactus form. I'm not keeping this one, but I like the form that it took. I think everything else in here we've already seen. This one is super pretty. Look at that. It's gorgeous. This one might be, well, it's kind of floppy. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, all these guys. They're so pretty. And all the purples and pinks. And the giant sunflowers are in here too. Even the sumac is loving life right now. And I haven't seen any major pop-ups from it since this spring, so I'm crossing my fingers. That's a good sign. We can keep it in check. It's not far from starting to turn color too. This turns into just the most vibrant orange color in the fall. A quick look over here at the secondary field or chicken coop garden. You can see what's blooming in there. And then it'll just be the regular gardens. Okay, so first of all, this is the apple of Peru. This guy is doing good. It's just about ready to try and go to seed. So this weekend might be the last big harvest before I got to cut it down because it will reseed itself. The Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus, this here is ready to cut now. The stems have hardened up much like the geranium. So this is one of my favorite fall foliages. And then the amaranth, you've seen in videos recently, this guy, this is the red spike. I will grow this every year if I can. And then Autumn Touch is back in the back. How do we get in here? The cosmos have kind of taken over. So let's see. This one over here is the Autumn Touch, where some of it's green, some of it is that copper color. These are, the farmers market people are not ready to give up on summer, so they're not digging on the copper color yet, but it's one of my favorites. Look at that contrast, green and copper. And I need to get these cut because they will go to seed. They're nearly there already. They're starting to put out some pollen. So I need to cut the heck out of these and force them to put out new stems. You've already seen as I walked through the cosmos over here doing really good. Oh, look at. They're much smaller. I started them much later, but it's been manageable. And then the sunflowers, these are about done. Look, this is a volunteer Belle of Ireland. I am gonna cut that for this weekend. Holy cow, it's volunteer. I did not plant it there. I can't, when I do plant them intentionally, they never come out looking this happy and healthy. And it's mid-August and it's 90 degrees. I think most of these sunflowers, there will be a few left for this weekend, but pretty nearly all of them are done. Oh, isn't that just so pretty? I love that color so much. It's a Pro Cut Red is that one. These were the Gold Light DMR. You can see the green center, but these are all basically done for the season. Sunflowers for the market for me are done. I was on a roll, getting them in succession, and then it all kind of fell flat. We had a few things happen and I just never caught back up, but that's okay. This little garden bed is pretty happy, all in all. Oh, and I wanted to show you the grapes. At some point, this whole vine is coming down. It attracts raccoons, and nobody wants raccoons in their backyard. Look at these though. They're starting to turn. It's about time. You see all these guys? Look at all these grapes. No wonder the raccoons like it. We can't keep up. And I fully neglected this whole vine this season because the intent was to take him down. Oh, that one's just about ready. It is kind of fun to be inside of here though. Okay. I'm gonna go check out this garden and work my way back around to the St. Francis garden and the pollinator garden back here. I won't spend too much time on the pollinator gardens because we've done that recently, but I do want to show you just what they look like. So this is the garden we call the cottage garden. It was the first real garden planting that we did on our property after we built the house and took everything down and got it ready. It's the first real garden that we put in. And really John did most of it initially. So there is one thing to note. None of our gardens are on drip irrigation. So it's a survival of the fittest, and we will water as best we can. I think the plan this winter, hopefully, is to get after at least some of the gardens, getting them on drip. I would really love to get the vegetable garden and then our front garden on drip so we don't have to worry about those ones. And then this one, the only hard part is that it's so far from a water source that it'll be more difficult. But it's looking pretty good despite all that. The bees, again, they're digging the oregano. I did plant phlox back here and it blooms. It needs another year to really settle in. But the phlox and the echinacea that I put back here earlier this season both did well. They settled in, they bloomed, they did really good. Everything just needs to be cut back and, you know, cleaned up a bit. The hydrangeas, so previous years, wow, those are pretty burnt up. Previous years, we had a couple extra trees right here that have since been removed. So there was some afternoon protection from the sun, and that's gone for the most part for most of this garden, which is another reason we want to try and get it on drip so that the consistent water can help keep these plants from looking sad at the end of the season. We really want them to still be good and get the chance to change color and all that into the fall. But this year is a bit of a learning experiment, so we'll see. So yeah, they're looking a little rough. The bay leaf's good. I think this spring intend to do a major pruning on the honeysuckle. It's time. It's pretty overgrown, so I think I'm going to do that this spring. Everything else looks pretty okay. The Daphne's a little yellow. Most stuff just needs water at the moment. Yeah, even that little guy. And it does get protection, but it's still wilty because this was all one big tree. By this time of the afternoon, it should be shaded, but it's not any longer, and everything's kind of settling into that. Okay, over here, I love this tree. A little cork bark tree. But over here, just a quick look at the wildflower pollinator garden. And this barberry sure has settled into its life. It doesn't mind being dry. These guys are finally starting to slow down. All of my bachelor buttons. You guys told me this is Godetia. I don't know how to say it. Godetia, I'm assuming. And all the rest of this is finally flopping over. But I'm going to let it sit and do its thing so that it reseeds for the next season. But it's all looking pretty good. Look at our fig tree. We have some seriously ripe figs, and that never happens. Oh man, these are so... I need to come back and collect those. I love fresh figs. This guy, I don't think we've probably had it here for, at least 7 years, and we've never gotten that many ripe figs. Oh, so cool. Okay, gotta go around this island because it's been taken over by plants. There's so much of this trumpet vine. It's so pretty. And the heather. Everything over here is kind of orange. The crocosmia is done. The vine is taking down our trellis. So that's one thing that will also happen this winter is this whole thing is going to come down. Well, at least this side of it. Maybe not the whole thing. We'll decide later, but it's taking it down. The weight of it is too much, so we gotta do something about it. Sedum. These guys are starting to turn color. It's pretty exciting. This is the Autumn Joy variety. And then our veggie garden. We were in here recently, I thought. Just got done watering in here. These are all volunteers. The lettuce that I grew earlier this season was already done and gone, but these guys, the nasturtiums, they are an aphid magnet. You see all that black on there? And these guys can live their lives right here collecting all the aphids for the garden. I'm okay with that. The kale looks good. I have carrots. We have lots of cucumbers that are coming. And then these are the colorful popcorn. It's meant to be, or colorful corn. It's meant to be lots of different colors, but I don't really see any ears forming up. I don't know really what's happening. They grew, clearly. We have a little bit of tufts, but there's no like ear. So this might be a fail for us, but we'll see. Just gonna leave them up there as long as I can. Some of the sweet corn varieties would already be harvesting, but not these guys. Glass gem, that's what they're called. And there's not a whole lot. This is the flowering kale. These two beds that we planted, I planted several weeks ago, and they're looking pretty good. They're growing strong. I do need to set up some kind of trellising system in here also, because they will flop for sure. So I need to get that going in the next week. The tomatoes are going nuts. Look, we already have pumpkin. We haven't mowed in here because I've let pumpkins make their way out of the box. But I have lots and lots and lots of yellow squash. And these gorgeous glads. And that's about it for this garden this time of year. Two more places to go. The front garden right here. And then we'll walk back to the St. Francis garden, which is my other favorite place to be this time of year. So this crazy amount of petunias. This here is Vista Supertunia Vista Bubblegum. This is 8 plants, and it has completely overtaken the entirety of this end of the garden. Even some of the perennials that I had in here are, like the scabiosa, are being completely buried. It's all the way up on the potted plant. It's crazy. John has to cut them back every week when he mows the lawn. These were planted all the way in here, which is 2.5 feet from the edge of the garden. Yeah, they're huge. They're just monsters. I love them. And then everything else in here is doing fairly decent. The daisies, the Daisy May Shasta daisies I cut back or flushing back. The dahlias are doing pretty good. This is Linda's baby, one of my favorites. I'm not deadheading it because I'm hoping that some kind of pollination happened and I can collect seeds from that one as well. These are the phlox we put in earlier this year. These were all from bare root, and they will hopefully next year. The first year is always rough, so next year they should be doing much better, standing upright. The bees love their salvias. Everything else is just kind of hanging in there. I do have powdery mildew has taken up residence on my columbine, so these guys I need to cut back. This is a KA's Mocha, what's it? KA's Rosy Joe, that's what it is. Oh, it's such a pretty combination. I love, love, love that color. I am gonna dig this one this fall, but just so that I can store it and divide it and make sure that I have plenty for future years. Just the Veronica, oh, the bees love all these spike plants. Veronica is doing good. The mint needs cut back. The echinacea survived its transplant. These are such a vibrant geranium. Yeah, it all looks pretty good to me. Everything's tired, needs extra water, all that stuff, but all in all, it's doing pretty good. Okay, last stop I want to show you is the St. Francis garden and then our perennial pollinator garden right by the greenhouse. Oh, the roses. These guys put on another flush. Gosh, isn't that just gorgeous? And it smells so yummy. Oh man. These are all so pretty. I would love a whole section of my flower garden to just be roses, just for cutting. Okay, let's see what we got over here. Okay, what do we got? So I have some dahlias that are almost there. It's a mishmash at this point. Some Sahara rudbeckia, this is the Fama blue pincushion flower. The bee balm I just need to cut down. It also has powdery mildew, so I need to cut all those down and just get them out of the way so it doesn't spread. More of John's giant sunflowers. This one here is at least a reasonable size. Everything else is kind of tucked in there. More of that Fama blue. We grew those from seed this last winter. Pretty excited to see that they're blooming. Same as everywhere else, just needs some cutback, but it's looking pretty healthy. Man, these lamb's ear. This is the Helen von Stein. These were so small and now they're so huge. I love it. They're just great. This smoke bush, I've told you before, I think. This guy, we're gonna transplant it this fall. It is too big for this area. As much as I like the color, especially of the foliage in the early spring and then in the fall. I love the color, but it's too much. So we're gonna move it and give it a chance to go for it again. It's such an interesting plant with this. Their blooms are crazy. I'm gonna go this direction. This is another sedum. It's not Autumn Joy, but it's very similar. It's more pink, purpley pink. And last season was the first year for it, and it was half the height that it is now. This is a good 2.5 feet tall at the moment, but last year it was much smaller. Still beautiful. I love it. Most of the daylilies are done. There's a couple still blooming, but this beast, I do need to come and cut a lot of this back. This is all the Dusty Miller. It's a perennial here. I've cut it back. I've cut and cut off of it, and it just keeps coming for more. I do need to cut it back though, so that just so that it doesn't take up as much space in the garden. The winter will kind of make it look rough, and I like to dry the stems and use them in winter projects, so that I do need to do. It's hard to beat that silver color. I've talked about it before, but this hydrangea is the one that's going to replace the smoke bush. So far it's doing okay. It all needs water though. We'll hit that pretty soon. Man, powdery mildew. Even the honeysuckles got it this year. It's all right, it happens. Everything in here is happy. This is another redwood. John wanted a tree in this garden, and this is a shorter one, so it'll be pretty good living its life here. All the astilbe has bloomed out. The fuchsias. These are hardy fuchsias, and they're doing happy very well. Coming around this way, lots of daylilies. I did cut back most of my monster wall of rose campion. There's still some remnants I need to cut back, but it got to be too much. Just cut it all back. Some of them will come back in the spring, some will not, and that's perfectly okay. Yeah, see, wall. It was just too big. It was completely shrouding the hydrangeas, and I didn't want that. But we did put in front of it now these astilbe that are settling in for next season. Oh, look at I put in some coleus in here with the hostas. That one is gorgeous. There's a couple other ones, just some dark ones. I think I need to get more seed for that kind for next season. But this is why I like this garden so much. Early afternoon, and it's already all the way in shade. And on a hot day, you can't ask for anything more. Lots of hellebores, ferns, hostas, astilbe. We have hellebore blooming in August. It's a trip. It's just so peaceful, this whole garden. Especially now that the patio's all done, we can just sit here and enjoy it. This little garden real quick, all of John's little Japanese maples are happy. We did put some of the astilbe in here. Look at that rose. They're so happy. Everything else here is the same. This is the GM. And then John put in these guys. Some asters, perennial asters. Hope they don't take over. If they do, it won't be too bad. They're really pretty. A little pop of color for this time of year. Okay, and then this side, look at these. The yarrow needs cut back. There's a few still good, still nice blooms, but most of it just needs to go. The echinacea, they're making their beautiful cones. And some are still blooming. Gosh, they're gorgeous. The peony seems to have survived its transplant, and everything else in here is just kind of hanging on. I need to cut back the feverfew because it's going to seed, and I don't want that in here. These are the other scabious of the Fama whites that we grew from seed. They're just beautiful. Oh, they're great. I'm really happy about that. And I grew these balloon flowers. How cool are they? They start out like this, like little balloons, literally, and then they pop open. And the bees like them. Look at this view. It looks like fall to me. And September 1st is meteorological fall. The couple more, this is more of the same. You've seen it before, but this is also really refreshing on a hot day. The heuchera have come back from, now that the sun has sort of tipped back a little bit, they're not in a direct shot anymore, and they're definitely recovering. This gem, man, isn't that pretty? And then this, oh, hi Winston. This last little garden is all the last thing I want to show you, because it is really coming on. The clematis is blooming. Verbena has done its thing. It's so pretty. Everything here was grown from seed except for the clematis. All of these painted daisies, the lupin, echinacea, man, that color is gorgeous. Oh, it's so pretty. I did start a bunch of those again also. And then all the salvias. The daisies are started to bloom. The lobelia, more of those painted daisies. More echinacea. It's just so pretty back here. Even the feverfew has moved in. Look at that. So good. Oh, the bees are on there. So this guy will bloom pink this winter, hopefully. And that's it. Hi, Winston. And one last thing I need to show you. I was going to stop here. I forgot. How could I forget? I have a surprise to show you out front. Pretty excited about it. Well, I shouldn't say we. John built. I found the inspiration for, but John built a flower shed so we can sell bouquets on our little quiet street. My CSA customer hasn't shown up. Okay. What do you think? I'm gonna walk in here. Oh, I think it's beautiful. This was inspired. You see the tin roof and the bench. I can put buckets here, buckets on the floor. These old windows we've had for ages. So they've just been in our garage in one of our sheds for a long, long time. But this winter, or this early spring, when we went to the Seattle Flower and Garden Show, there was a shed there, a stage that's really inspired me. And actually we nearly copied it, but it's just, I liked the black wood, the plantings they had around it, just the simplicity of it. And we had the windows and we had the tin. So just took a few boards of cedar and some treated lumber, and there you go. I've ordered a big sign that says flowers, and I've got the lockbox and everything else, and I'll show you all the details of that when we set it all up for the first time. But I do have a question for you guys. When you come up our road, this is the direction that you come when you're driving here. It drives up this way, so you end up seeing this, all that fencing, before you see the shed. So my question for you is, should I stain the deck dark just like the shed, or leave the contrast? I'm leaning towards stain it all dark. I will plan to, this is shade all year round. There's a little bit of sun that it'll get in the middle of summer, but that's it. But we plan to put all kinds of ferns and hostas and a lot of that shade plant woodland feel all around this side mainly, because that side's a gate. But really simple. I'll put some pots probably on the corners in the summertime, spring and summer, with color flowers. But most of this is just going to be green, which goes with the backdrop. I plan to, I'll tell you about it when we get there, but I have some ideas for what to plant just behind the fence that will grow up and fill, there's a big opening here that will fill that gap and be, I think, really pretty. But tell me guys, what do you think? Should I stain I think I should stain the fence dark. The contrast is too much. Everything looks so bright and brand new, and then the shed is meant to look old and vintage. I don't know, you'll have to tell me what you think. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. There was so much to cover this time. I'm sorry it's another long video, but I didn't want to miss out on showing you the things that we're doing well, and even some of the things that we're not doing well, and some of the remedies that we plan to take to cover it. And I will shoot videos about all those things as we do them. We have bulbs coming, so we can talk to that for really soon. I'm excited about that. And then the flower shed. It's here. We can grow, or we can sell flowers right from our front steps. Although it's pretty quiet on my street, so we'll have to do some creative marketing to get people to drive down here. That's okay. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, again, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.